We have problems in the front, bunkers, slopes, all sorts of things. So if you're hitting a longer iron or even a hybrid into this, you are going to have to try either to run it up or hit it higher. Now, if you don't know how to do either of those, you're going to struggle. And this relatively easy par 3 is going to become a par 4 for you. Let's find out how to hit the ball higher with ease now. There are a couple of ways you can hit the ball a bit higher. You can adjust your stance and ball position. You can release the club a little bit differently, but I find this to be the easiest thing to do to give you the confidence to hit higher shots. So first, let me cover the sort of common ones, if you will. Let's take ball position. Okay, you might have heard just to move the ball a little bit further up, right? And then add a little bit more tilt to your setup so you can, your low point is still going to be after the ball with an iron, but your arc is generally going to be just a little bit more on the upswing, okay? Now, where that screws people up is because, whether you want to hit over a tree or to this flag, you kind of end up changing it a bit too much and sort of go for like a driver swing. And this isn't going to give you the compression that you want. So you might end up hitting the ball higher, but it's not going to go as far. So you're still going to end up in the crap that you wanted, that you're trying to avoid rather. So we don't necessarily want to do that. The other one is a bit more refined, and that is, and I've actually done a video on it in the past, but we talk a lot about trying to compress the golf ball and squeeze it out, right? That's going to give backspin, and that is going to give the ball a bit higher. But if you have slow swing speed, and what's slow, I don't know, let's say with a driver you're below 100 or 90, right? You are going to struggle to get enough sort of speed to generate the spin to get the height and velocity that you want. So you trying to sort of, if you're told to hit down or whatever, I talk about hitting through to be very important, to hit through, but if you keep hitting down, you might just not get the distance that you're after because you can't generate the speed. And people seem to forget telling you that. It's not all about shaft lean and compression, It's about what's going to work best for you. If you come a bit closer, the general feel that is a bit more refined is as we're coming through to the ball, instead of trying to hold on to this wrist angle to sort of compress it down, at impact we're going to try and straighten the wrist a little bit to have the impact just be a little bit more like that as opposed to dynamic here, okay? If you do that, even with a slow swing speed, you might find that you hit the ball a little bit higher. But there is a caveat to this that you have to watch, and if you're a flipper of the golf ball, you really need to be very skeptical of trying this, because what's a flipper? That, okay? Where you're trying to scoop the ball up anyway. You don't really want to do that, because the more you do it, the weaker your shots are going to be, and they're still not going to get where you want them to be. So it's a very subtle move. You still need to feel like your arms are straightening, but you're not holding on to that angle, and you're kind of just brushing it up, okay? But monitor that flip action. And if you're not sure, your little checkpoint can be just over here. So if you walk around here, your little checkpoint for flipping is just about here, waist height through the ball. Is your club more this way or is it more here? Okay, I don't mind the wrist hinging, but we don't really want them to be too far behind the body this way. See how I've kind of scooped the back of the hand is towards you, and we're here. So that's your sort of little checkpoint. If you're something like this, check in a mirror, just observe it when you make a swing. Are you a bit too much like this? That means you're a flipper. So you still need to straighten the arms and squeeze them out that way, but we're brushing through to just give it a bit more elevation. Here's my remedy for you. What I want you to think about is the most obvious thing, hopefully, for you. And let me know if you agree. Tiger Woods did this perfectly. When he was wanting to hit a low shot, he would do the opposite. When he wanted to hit a high shot, he would do this, and a regular shot. And it is all about the finish, okay? Where we finish. Because trying to get somewhere here means that we have to do something else. If we want to finish down here, okay, chances are we would have had to have done a kind of low chasing punch shot, a bit extreme. If we finished all the way up here, okay, it means that we have elevated the shot, just like throwing. If I wanted to throw, I would stay down. If I wanted it to go low across the ground. If I wanted it to go high, it would go leaning back this way. So there's a very simple swing thought, and I'll show it you now. So what I want you to do, as you finish, I want you to feel like your chest is to the sky a little bit more. That your left shoulder is just releasing a bit more this way, okay? We are going that way, as opposed to sort of staying down here. That's what you might be doing currently if you're hitting it kind of low. You're sort of bringing the arms in and the shoulders a little bit flat, okay? We want to try and have a higher left shoulder and a higher finish. And you'll be amazed at the difference of just that intent. Just having that specific intent to finish higher here, around there. Even if you're a bit limited on mobility, just feel the release of the hands, okay? Try and get that shoulder up and around. That is going to give you more height instantly. And the beauty is, it's not going to have you focused on the backswing, it's going to have you focused on the intent, the objective of making a good through swing, of committing to the shot, of making sure that you get the strike that you need with the confidence that you're after. A little bonus tip first. For some reason, people don't always use a T-peg on par threes, okay? This shot applies to fairway shots as well, but use a T-peg going on a par three. The pros do it, tee it up nice and high, give yourself a good chance to compress the ball and get the height that you want. It's really obvious, but for some reason, too many people I play with or teach don't do it every time, and I don't know why. Do not know why. So, that feeling, I'm not thinking about anything else, okay? I haven't even changed my address position. My only goal is to finish nice and high. And we can see that that shot there was perfect. It got the height that I needed. And you might be thinking, well, you're lucky, you're hitting 8, 9 iron to here. But what if I've got a longer club? The same thing applies, okay? The same thing applies. If we grabbed a 5 iron, okay? I'm going to swing this a bit softer. I'm going to swing this a little bit softer just to sort of demonstrate the sort of speed, okay? But the same thing applies whether you're using a hybrid or whatever it might be. I'm just going to have the goal to finish just a little bit higher, okay? And you'll be amazed, even if you don't want to hit high shots, that swing floor really frees up a lot of your golf swing as well, all right? If you enjoyed that, just hit the like button and let me know. If you have any questions, put them down below as well, all right? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.